Well, good Monday morning, everyone. It's a new year, or at least the first full week in the new year. We started a little bit last week. But last week, as you remember, we were looking back to 2025 and some of my favorite worship songs of last year. I love that week. I'm sure you did too. But this week, we're going to look ahead. Look ahead to 2026. And we're starting over. It's a brand new year. Brand new beginning. Now, I'm going to talk about that in just a moment, but I wanted to first invite men to 9 o'clock. We're having a brand new men's group starting at the Los Alisos room. Monday mornings, it's going to meet 9 a.m., 9 to about 10:30. So I hope you would consider coming out. I'm going to be involved from starting today. It's going to be much more discussion oriented than we ever have. And I think you're going to find it very encouraging every week. So I'm going to be there. I'm going to be teaching most of the time. Today, we're going to be looking at what it means when we say the word rapture. And we're going to talk about when it is, what it is, and then we're going to move into, in the coming weeks, a look ahead at how soon Jesus might be coming. What are the indications? And the women at 2 o'clock at Lutheran Church of the Cross, they're starting the brand new year off right, talking about with teaching from actually Pastor Tom, a one-time teaching today on how Christians are to relate to culture all around us. So either one, men or women, I hope you come on out today. Today. Now, like I say, I want to think about new beginnings. And if you think about new beginnings in the Bible, you can come up with lots of different ideas of how the Bible could be used to illustrate that. But as I thought and prayed about this, there is one set of circumstances that, when you think about it, far outshines all others when it comes to new beginnings. What do you think that might be? What would you think of? Well, what I thought of was when Jesus Christ was risen from the dead. It's like a new beginning for all mankind, a new opportunity. Because all of a sudden, when that happened, it proved that death had been defeated. What hope! What freshness to life! There is now available through faith in Jesus, the Bible tells us. And I hope you'll take advantage of that. But there is one set of reactions that, as I read through the Bible, there are about 7 different times that Jesus appeared to people in his risen state. And in virtually all of those, you're going to see this pattern. And I'm going to give you the pattern right now. And then we're going to read the very first time the risen Lord appeared to any human being. Do you know who that was? You might, and it'll come to you when we read it. But here's the pattern. And that is that Jesus appears to the person or people. And secondly, so he appears. Secondly, they tend to not recognize him at first. And then they come to the third step. They come to a realization that it is Jesus, that it is him, and that he's alive. And that's the fourth reaction then, is they're in awe. It's hard to believe. It's so good. It's such good news that it's hard for them to believe it. That my Jesus, my Savior, my Lord, he is alive. And life has a new beginning then. And the fifth reaction, the fifth step of almost every one of these encounters is they want to tell other people about it, about him. They've seen him. He's real. He's real in their lives. These are the actual steps that you and I, if we think about it, when we came to know him, they actually took place in our lives too. And we'll talk more about that as this whole week goes on. But before we run out of time, I want to read this first encounter that the risen Jesus had with anyone. And that person, the very first person that saw Jesus, was Mary Magdalene. And here it is in John chapter 20 at verse 14. He says, and she'd gone that Sunday morning. She'd gone to the tomb, looked in, and angels told her that he's not here. And so she turned to leave and saw someone standing there, and it was Jesus. But she did not recognize him. Dear woman, why are you crying? Jesus asked her. Who are you looking for? As if he didn't know the answer. She thought that he was the gardener. She didn't recognize him, did she? Sir, she said, if you have taken him away, tell me where you have put him, and I will go and get him. Mary, Jesus said. And she turned to him and cried out, Rabboni, which in Hebrew means teacher, because she knew who he was then all of a sudden. Don't cling to me, Jesus said, for I haven't not yet ascended to the Father. But go and find my brothers and tell them, I am ascending to my Father and your Father, and to my God and to your God. And Mary Magdalene found the disciples and he immediately told them, I have seen the Lord. And she gave them the message. When I read that, don't you just picture tremendous joy and happiness and awe in the voice of Mary Magdalene? She had seen the risen Lord, the very first one to see him alive. Yes, Jesus had conquered death. She didn't recognize him at first. And don't you think that part of that was there had been no such experience in human life, in the history of mankind, where all of a sudden the dead person was alive and talking with them. So I think we should not be too critical of Mary Magdalene of not recognizing Jesus. The last time she had seen him was probably when he had been crucified and he was bloody and beaten up and so on. And now he was none of those things. He was glorified. He was in his glorified body and not bloodied and not wounded and not tired and broken. He was new. He was alive. He was fresh. And he knew her name. And the moment that Jesus said, Mary, she knew that voice. She had heard him say that before. And she knew it was him. And she knew he was alive. And she rejoiced. She was in awe. And she could not wait to tell the others. And she ran to tell them. Wow. Oh, I can't wait to read. You and I are going to read all these encounters this week. I hope you join me. Every one is as exciting as this one. See you tomorrow.